What's happening? What's happening? The Urban Collective Show is back for another week. It's your man NIC.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Bernadine Truth. Hey, how's everybody doing? I hope people are well.
I
I'm
know
tired.
everybody's doing well. It's been, I know, a couple of weeks, because of COVID, we do shows every other week and everything that life throws at us. So we haven't done shows every week. This is our second show since we've been back. So happy to be back, excited. Bernadine, how was your week? How was your 2 weeks, I should say?
Tiring. I'm just happy to be on air with everyone. So Nasi said we're doing our every other week segment. So I'm trying to think, like, since last time we were on air, it's honestly just really focusing a lot on finals right now. Taking them. So by the time we're back on air, I will be done with finals from semester 1 of classes, which I'm really excited about. But I feel, that weight, like, I feel like no matter what time it is, I'm tired because your brain's just on all the time, whether it's for work or for classes. And then you want to try to be social and check in with your friends and family. So I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. So I await the opportunity to just rest my mind, my body, my soul, my spirit. But I've been good, we'll get into it a little bit, but sad to hear that our city's changing a little bit, but also happy to hear that our city's changing a little bit, given rising COVID numbers. And, I can't believe Christmas is next week for those who celebrate Christmas. Hanukkah happened. Kwanzaa's coming. I just feel like all these holidays are taking place, but it's weird to go through all of them during COVID, So I'm like, where's my holiday spirit? Where's my energy? Oh, it's because I've been in the house forever and you can't shop freely. You can't, life's the same right now and run errands. So it's certainly different. And I feel like we're going to be like this for a little bit longer. So it's going to be a little bit more than a year, I think, with the world on shutdown, at least in Boston. So how are you, NIC?
I am doing good. I'm great. Can't complain. Healthy, not sick. So that's always nowadays I lead with that. I'm doing well, so I can't complain. Right now, I'm in the midst of wrapping gifts, so that's a fun time.
Oh, fancy!
I have a lot of kids we have to give gifts to, so because of that, I was like last year I spent a whole day, literally a whole day. I think it was like an 8-hour shift wrapping gifts. So I was like, I'm not doing that this year. So I did some.
You got your holiday shopping done. Did you do it a lot virtual? Did you do it
virtually? I didn't go anywhere.
Amazon 101.
Amazon, mix of Amazon, Target, Best Buy, and just bought stuff. So my wife is great with doing lists. I was anti-list before, but the list helps because she was like, all right, here's a list. This is all the kids that we have to do. Let's run down it, write what we need to get for them, set a budget, stick to that budget. That was one of my biggest flaws in the past. So I would like, let me buy this, and just buy stuff as I see them. The next thing I'm like, I spent all this money. So I'm like, you know what? Let me stick to a budget. Let's look up stuff according to their ages and everything. So that's been great. But yeah, it's fun. Thursday is a big snowstorm. So I love snow, which is very weird for like a Caribbean man to love snow. So
are you gonna plow out my driveway for me?
I love the snow.
Okay, I didn't know if you loved it enough to go out and support other people get the snow.
I was supposed to get my snowblower last month, and being lazy, it's one of those things. It's like you're gonna get it the day that you need it. So now I have a snowblower. For that, because I have like a long driveway, and then not only driveway, also another path in front. So I'm like,
park the car at the tip of the driveway.
Yeah, but what? No, I don't want to do that because then you get blocked in.
You'll be. I mean, it's just less to shovel and plow out.
I guess. I'm not going anywhere for the next couple of days, so I don't really.
You can definitely come plow mine out. I'm just trying to get to the.
Bottom
line is you can come to.
There's a thing that's called Snowplow Services. There's an app that you can get. They'll help you out with that.
Yeah. We'll see.
They'll help you out with that. So yeah, that's basically it. But going into starting off with the week that was a recap, as always, we start off with entertainment. And it was the Boston Music Awards. I know this year was a digital award show, so that was very weird. Last year, I remember Bernadine and myself and Scorpio Spice, we all attended this Boston Music Awards. Pretty great time. We had a lot of winners that we knew that were in the house, a lot of people that we knew that were nominated and that actually won. So that was one of the good things to be in that moment and to enjoy it with them. For Artist of the Year for Boston Music Award, we have Bia. She's a local rapper. She's doing her thing. I think she just dropped an album actually about a week or two ago. So go listen to her album. Make sure you support a local artist. She's doing her thing out there, trying to make it big in the industry. And of course, for Music Journalist of the Year, we have Candace McDuffie. That. So shout out to you, Candace, doing your thing. And then, of course, we have one of our alumni, one of our guests who won the 617 Sessions Artist of the Year, Red Shades. It's for her song, Let Me Go Talk My Ish. So she won that. And then last but not least, someone in the community that's really putting Boston music on the map, that's doing something and saw that there was a need and went out and did it. So shout out to her. I have the utmost respect for them, their organization, and everything that they're doing. If you don't know what
the resiliency, the persistence, the ability to pivot during the pandemic.
Exactly. Like she's done awesome. Her whole team. Congrats to that whole team. I know it's a whole team behind you. Catherine Morris of BAMS Fest. It's a new category that she won to celebrate the behind the scene heroes of our music community, which we need to, because a lot of people see the artists, but you do not understand what goes on behind the scene to get these artists up there, to make sure we can create a space so that these artists are able to go on and go live. And she's doing a lot right now. Actually, I know this Thursday they're going to be doing something online. You can go visit their website if you go to BAMS Fest. They're doing local artists that's been nominated, and someone are doing freestyles and everything like that. So you'll get to vote, listen to some local artists. So that's going to be pretty dope. Bedlam is going to be up there as a judge. So shout out to Bedlam. But yeah, that's for news. That was for.
I'd like to highlight MBOS, so Boston, Black-owned businesses too. For the city of Boston, for anybody who's in the local community and you're all looking to shop, we have a lot of entrepreneurs and business people of color in the city of Boston, particularly Black folk in the city of Boston, and there was a pop-up that started several weeks ago at this point, every weekend at Legacy Place in Dedham. For those of you who don't know, please Google and check out Legacy Place in Dedham and really look for the Black-owned Boston section, where you can support all of Boston's local vendors who are out there. Q Made It is one of them. Black Girl Magic is another one. Fusion Dolls is another. So again, Boston, if you're looking for dolls of color, dolls that really look like our Black and brown girls, and then they just added a line for our boys, which is awesome. Black Girl Magic really again celebrates all that is Black excellence, whether you're looking for a dad hat, kind of like this one for the Urban Collective show, if you're looking for a sweatshirt, if you're looking for some pins, if you're looking for a planner. Q Made It is another entrepreneur who just truly makes a number of trinkets, whether it's like earrings or backdrops or record players, and just recurates and redesigns a lot of what we see in our day-to-day lives. She reinvents them and turns them into new objects and new sculptures. So again, if you're in the Boston area, or if you're looking to make a trip into the city of Boston, particularly on the weekends, please check out Black-owned businesses in Boston at Legacy Place, because again, it's all about our city, our culture, and our people. So shout out to Boston, who's really trying to be resilient and persist through this pandemic and still create spaces and opportunities for all of us to engage and shop and buy Black, which is really important, especially right now where we're trying to keep our small businesses alive.
Well, yes, especially right now is the key for that, because it's something that we do see. A lot of people always asking, hey, how do I support? I don't know where this is or anything like that. So there's not really a reason now for you to say you don't know where it is, because it's all over. Especially with the internet age, when people tell me stuff like that, I'm like, did you really look? Did you
right.
Really?
And all people do also need to know what they're looking up, right? But again, Black-owned Boston. Okay.
Yes.
That's it. Legacy Place. Make it happen ask around. I'm sure people will be able to support you in figuring it out.
Especially to everybody that's the late shoppers. We know who you are.
I'm one of them.
Every guy that's watching this weekend. I'm sorry to call us out. I used to be that guy. Christmas weekend, literally Christmas weekend. Christmas would be like 2 days. That's when I'm doing my shopping, picking up stuff. I did online pickups, but in-store pickups. That was back in the days when we could go around people, because I just love being in the atmosphere and out. Christmas music, coming home, wrapping up for like 4 hours. But now you can't do that. So make sure you go buy that. Make sure you protect yourself while you're out there. But go support these local businesses, man. They've been hit very, very, very bad. And they need your support. And as a community, we're here to support instead of going and buying it online. Hey, go step out, go with the kids, go with the wife, husband, whatever, and go do that.
Make it happen. And I see the transition us into the world of sports, because I know people are excited. I've been hearing some things. Seasons have to be canceled or games. People catching COVID out here in these streets. What's going on?
I know. So the NBA is going to be back next week. It is starting on December 22nd. They've amended it, and they're doing a 72 game season versus the normal 82 games. So they reduced it by about 10 games. Normally the season would have started by now. It would have been underway in like late November, right after, I believe, right after Thanksgiving, or right around that week of Thanksgiving is when they start the season. So that's good that they're doing that. The teams are not going to play in the bubble this year. We don't know yet if that will happen later on. But as of right now, they are to play in the different stadiums. There will not be any guests in those stadiums as of right now, but we'll see what happens in the future. And of course, the Boston Celtics, which, went to the Eastern Conference games last season, unfortunately lost to Miami. Shout out to Miami, though. That's one of my other teams. But they lost to Miami. And this year, they made some moves.
We got Tristan Thompson, for example. Kardashian's about to be in Boston, for better or for worse. We don't know what it's going to be like.
I don't think he has that much of an end with the Kardashians anymore. He's baby daddy. I don't think he's like that much of an end.
Listen, when Kim goes and posts talking about Boston, we gonna see y'all soon. You just never know.
Okay, so
yeah. So I don't know if that's just but you also never know. That could just be something like for the hype. That could have been in that moment. Is that really gonna last through COVID? I don't know. Whether or not the Kardashians are in Boston, Celtics, y'all got to do what y'all got to do. And stay safe. I will never forget, I was at the last game right before the NBA shut it all down for the Celtics, and we lost in the final seconds.
Oh, that's the worst.
Of the game.
Yeah, that's the worst. I went to like 2 games last season, right before the whole shutdown happened, like early in the year. So last game I went to, I know we won, so I forgot who we played against, but that was a good game. To go in, but 72 game season, and Gordon Hayward left. He went to Charlotte. We picked up, as this young lady Bernadine let us know, Tristan Thompson. We picked up Jeff T, who's another backup player, and also our main point guard will not be starting this season with us. Kemba Walker has some knee issues, so he's not going to be starting. Moving on to the Patriots. Unfortunately, we lost last week, so our hope of making the playoffs are getting slimmer by the second. So we'll see. We are 6-7.
That loss of Brady?
Combination of Brady, but just not having enough players. Even though we picked up Cam Newton, I hate to say this as another black man say this about another black man, but I see why now. I see why that he was not picked up by a lot of other teams, because this man was a MVP about 5-6 years ago, MVP of the league. And it looks like, I don't know if it's the injuries or anything like that, but you can see that he has decline, and just some of the passes that he did. Like this past weekend, some of the passes he was throwing, some of the decisions he was making. I know it's hard being a QB in the NFL. Trust me. You have 300-pound guys coming at you, hitting you all the time. So it is difficult, but I can see okay, it's not the same. So, I mean, we tried our best with the team that we have, but we need better. We need to get better on offense. We need better wide receivers. We have a few players that's not playing because they opted out also on the defense side. And on the defense, you can tell they're missing those players. One of them was a captain the team for it. So we'll see. Hopefully, some people saying let's tank and get a better record so that we can get a lower seed and get some better picks in the first round and get a franchise quarterback or something like that. But we'll see what happens. I don't think that's in Bill's nature to do that, Bill Belichick. So we'll see. But we'll follow that. I'm not. I don't know. I don't have that much hope for us to.
We'll see. I mean, I think that's a perfect transition into really understanding what's going on in our local cities and communities too. Because like while it's important to support all of our amazing sports teams, right? I think it's like being able to watch sports on TV. I remember back when we didn't have that playing on TV at all, just how many people were impacted by it. They're like, I just want to watch it. I just want to have that level of fellowship with my friends. And so like, I think that's amazing. And we can definitely continue to celebrate all of that. But cases of COVID are also at an all-time high right now. And that is something else we need to be very mindful of, right? So when players are out here getting sick for the NBA, the NFL, like games are being canceled or rescheduled or what have you. But more importantly, I would say more locally, if you will, we have to pay attention to what's going on in our own backyards and our own cities too. And so most recently, the mayor of Boston, Mayor Marty Walsh, announced that he is rolling back. Like Boston was open for a minute, y'all.
Shutting down.
So we went from being able to kind of go out, have dinners and things, which we're still able to do, just in some serious moderation. So we're rolling it back to phase 2, step 2, and what the people are like, well, what does that mean for some of us? What that means is for any of you who were excited to go back to the gym, the gyms are closed. I just renewed my membership 3 weeks ago just to have to cancel it one more time. So indoor event spaces.
I never canceled my membership. Listen,
I can't give coins when I'm not utilizing the resources. So that's a personal, but I'm sitting here like, wow. It also means like indoor event spaces are closed. Indoor recreational and athletic facilities are closed. Sightseeing, historical locations, and a few other industries are closed. Right. And so, it's tough because we have like the Museum of Fine Arts, for example. They had an extraordinary Basquiat exhibit that's supposed to be open. And people have to check it out.
I want to go to that so bad.
Yeah, no. So we definitely have access to that. I'll give you more details in a few. But, now that we have these restrictions that are going to be put into place on starting Wednesday, December 16th, is trying to figure out like, what does that mean, right? So is it that people have to be able to go out in moderation, or is it that people can't go out at all? A lot of our city's closures for the city of Boston don't necessarily apply to children who are under 18 or like college athletic programs or professional sports teams, as you can see, right, with the NBA and with the NFL and things like that. But it's still truly a big hit, especially because like a lot of our restaurants now have to stop serving food around 9:30, or they close around 9:30. People can still do takeout. But again, at this time, we know that the economy gets hit very hard when our cities close. And so I'm going to remind you all if you're in a position to do takeout or to get food delivered, still do that. Support your local restaurants, support your local businesses. They need to keep their people on their payroll, keep their doors open post-COVID, right? We still want to be able to go to our favorite restaurants, assuming they're not closed. But we still have to, again, be in moderation. Now it's like when you're sitting down and you're eating at restaurants, you still have to have your mask on. Before it was like once you're seated, you have to take them off. And so again, a number of these modifications are taking place in hopes of decreasing our numbers. I mean, we're almost a year into this, y'all. Vaccines have also started to be rolled out in phases. So right now they're going to a lot of like our first responders, people who are working on the front lines. Soon to come will be to everybody else. And so people are debating that, like, you gonna take that vaccine or not? And we talked about that a little bit, and time will tell. But folks, take care of yourselves. Boston, we got to get through this, but that also means a lot more of those sacrifices in order for that long-term level of success. Like, I cannot be stuck in a house all summer. Part 2.
I know.
That's us, y'all. We have to regulate this.
Talking about the city closing, this is one thing I did want to touch on. The FDA has allowed the use of the first ever over-the-counter home test for COVID-19. So you are able to go now and purchase it, probably be out in the next couple of weeks, for people that are putting themselves, I want to go spend the time with my family over the holiday weekend, and you don't want to go and pay or go to the doctors to take a test. You can run the test and find out the result in as little as 20 minutes. 20 minutes. So they said this is a great test. It's been proven effective. So hopefully we'll be able to get more of these tests. It's coming from Elum. I believe that's how you pronounce it, for the company. So there's take-home tests now, y'all. So take advantage of that, please. But be careful. I know everybody wants to be with their family. This is the 1 year you got to sacrifice.
The 1 year.
Yeah.
Also asking people to really regulate, their activity right now, like with family during these holidays. And so at some point we'll give y'all some tips, hopefully, on how to navigate the holidays, with respect to social distancing, which I know is hard. And I'm gonna be biased and give a shout out to a Caribbean folk. Y'all know it's hard for you all to not make food for the village and invite everybody over. The holidays also includes Haitian Independence Day, which means like Jumu and people traveling homes to home for some soup, like
some cremas.
Everyone's doing coquito for our Latinx folk, like whatever it is. Listen, if you're not shipping it, you're not sharing it. Like, I mean, I don't understand what else to say to all of us in order to make this happen. Like, the governor is also saying, like, he's really recommending that people don't really hang out too much during the holiday season, which is tough, right? Because again, people celebrating their birthdays during the holidays, it's New Year's resolutions, all of these things. Now, I'm not saying, people who follow me know my life, I'm social too, but I'm also saying I'm working it out. I'm working it out. I was going to host a holiday gathering. I'm not doing it. I'm not having all of those people hanging out in increments.
I bet you Scorpio Spice is looking at you like,
I know. A lot of people are just like, Bernadine's telling us this, but no, truly, like, it's just, I've been watching. I've had to watch Marty Walsh and I've had to watch Governor Charlie Baker because I have to like understand the gravity of what's going on, right? And when we're talking about cases, Hyde Park is a particular area that's been hit with high numbers. I am a resident of Hyde Park. And so I'm sitting here, right? Scorpio Spice, I see you with your eyeballs. I'm a resident of Hyde Park. And so I'm sitting here like, what is going on? I have to make sure I'm mindful of my community, mindful of my space. So it's definitely a lot of sacrifice, particularly, again, like I said, I recognize during the holiday season, but we have to do it. We have to do it. Because again, I'm looking at it like winter season, cool. We're all stuck in the house anyway, but it's when the sun starts to come out. It's when the warm weather starts to hit your skin. And you want to go outside and you can't.
I know.
That's what we have to work on.
Yeah. And I mean, with the vaccine that's out now, they're saying hopefully springtime is when it'll be readily available for everyone to be able to take a shot. You had this week, it was approved. So starting yesterday, trucks were out on the road Sunday morning, and they were basically going out and delivering this. Massachusetts, I believe, received 300,000 supplies of the vaccine. But as you all know, and as you all may well have heard, it's only people that are healthcare, the people that are in nursing homes that are getting these vaccines at first. And they need that because these people are the people that are taking care of all the people and everybody else. So they need it. They're the frontline workers. They need that. And then you have the nursing homes, which have people with certain conditions, high blood pressure, whatever it might be, and that are being affected by COVID on a much higher rate compared to anybody else. So that is another good sign that they're testing it out on these. Let me stop saying testing it out, that they're providing the vaccine first to these people. Reminder, this is a 2-shot vaccine. Do not take it once and think you're done. If you take it once, they're showing that it's about 50% as effective. If you take it twice, they're showing that it's 95% effective. I know there has not been studies for that long. A lot of people are worried on there. They're saying, it was only 2 months trial. There should have been at least 6 months to see and trace it a little bit longer. But when you have over 3,000 people dying a day,
yeah, it's intense. It's different.
You have to take that risk. I know I said in the last episode, I'm not going to take it. I most likely will take it because we're out in the public. We're not just for me personally for Tuck, but for just my everyday life, my job and everything like that. I have to go out in the public. I can't just sit behind a computer. I can do most of my work from a computer, but I need to get out. I'm getting tired of this. So I think by then we will see and we'll realize has it affected more people? Are there any issues with this drug in the next few months? So that when we, the normal people, can take it, by then we'll be like, okay, you know what, let's do it. And then something that I read was, it's probably going to be like the flu shot. It might be something that you have to take every year. Every year you take the flu shot. It's normal to people. People don't think about it twice. Most people. But the anti-vaccine people, I know a lot of people say you don't want to take it, but keep in mind, in order for this to work, it's kind of like they call the herd immunity. So if not a lot of people are taking it, it's not going to really be effective. And that's what people don't understand. If you have half the population taking it, that's another 150 million people that can catch COVID. So we need to make sure we're at a 90% to 95% take rate in the United States. That's over 300 million people that need to take this shot. So this is why it's going to take so long. And yeah, people say, why is it taking so long? 300 million people you got to give shots to. It's not like something that's easily done. So it will take some time for that. But that's my 2 cents on the COVID vaccine.
Yeah, and it's just about us monitoring it. It's just about us checking in. As we said, these are just difficult times. And so this particular segment is just highlighting what we're all going through, right? We're still, again, in COVID. We're in COVID during the holidays. We just finished Thanksgiving as a holiday. And now we're going into Christmas. Hanukkah was celebrated, and Kwanzaa. And so, and that brings us into the new year too, right? And so we're always thinking about how can we still build community and how can we still have fun, but also celebrate one another respectfully, especially given a time where, again, social distancing is a requirement. And so before I turn it over to NIC and I to give you all some helpful tips, earlier I mentioned the importance of checking out Black-owned Boston at Legacy Place. But for those of you who are familiar, Black Market is still here, and they're also opening up their doors and have been opening up their doors for folks to shop. And so if you're like, I don't really feel like going into the Dedham area, but I want to stay in Boston, if you're in the Dorchester, Roxbury area, South End, definitely check out Black Market. They have a Black Joy Market series that is taking place. And so dates that are coming up are Saturday, December 19th. And they're going to be having their doors open from 1 to 5 each day. Admission is free. And again, it's your opportunity to continue to shop and to support Black-owned businesses. And so if you're looking to stay in the suburban community, or like if you're closer to that area, go out into Dedham. If you're into the city and you want to stay in our local neighborhoods, go out to Black Market. But again, both spaces are supporting Boston's Black-owned entrepreneurs and Black-owned businesses. So make it happen. They're, of course, honoring all of our social distancing rules and policies and regulations. So wear your masks, have your hand sanitizer. Feel free to bring that for yourselves as you all continue to shop. We've seen a major decline in small businesses during this time. They're struggling a lot financially. Small businesses, I think, by nature, were already struggling in some ways, but do it because you really want to, right? You provide these services and these resources because it's what you feel called to do. At this time when everyone is feeling the impact, our small businesses are certainly no stranger to that reality. And so make it happen. And again, that goes into local restaurants as well. So please be sure to support folks. If you're not into the dining in, that's totally fine. You can still get gift cards. Get gift cards because people can go and support on their own time. People can also order out, get delivery. Those gift cards will still apply. So there are definitely fun and creative ways to make sure that happens in our communities. I want to turn it over to a different part of our segment where we can give y'all some fun tips and tricks on how to have some fun during the holiday in a space of social distancing. Looking at NIC, he's like, I wasn't ready, but I'm gonna put you out there. Figure it out. Y'all been MIA, raising a whole human being and whatnot. So how are you all staying engaged with your family during the holidays? I have some helpful tips and tricks.
Yes.
I can go first, but it's up to you. And I see if you want to go, let me know.
Of course. So one of the biggest things in order to help you stay safe, especially during the holiday season where family's going to want to see you, you're going to want to spend time with the family, open gifts, crack jokes, enjoy each other. The biggest thing that you need to ask yourself is before you attend that meeting, before you even think about going, these are, I would say, 5 things that you should consider. What's the current level of COVID in the location that you're going to? As you know, different communities have different rates of COVID. You can have some areas that will say, oh, Boston has a higher risk. Springfield has a lower risk. Well, Worcester might have a higher risk. So understand that, hey, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be going to this location. What's the risk? Because not only are you going to that location, the people that live there are staying there. So that means they're going shopping in that area. They're going to the supermarket. They're doing everything in that area that has a higher risk of COVID. So make sure you find out what that is, and you can look that up online. Where's the event being held? Are you guys doing something in a house? Are you doing it outside? It's cold, so we live in New England. We're going to get snow later in the week. You can't really do stuff outside. So right now, we're stuck to being inside. But when you're inside, is that place ventilated? Is it, a place that has an old system heat? Does it have central air? That really matters because you can move the air around a little bit better if you have central air versus an old heating system. How long are you going to be there? Longer gatherings pose a greater risk than shorter gatherings. So keep your event short. If you're going to pass by, hey, mom, hey, dad, hey, sister, hey, brother, I'm here for 10, 15 minutes and I'm out. Do not sit there. Next thing you know, you ate a plate, you fell asleep. It's 4 hours later.
It's the naps that gets you. It's the naps. It's the let me taste your drink. We're not sharing drinks.
Exactly. So what you're eating, keep your plate to yourself. Use plates, use paper plates, plastic, toss them, throw them away. Do not share cups. Do not share drinks. I know everybody like, oh, let me get a little bit of that drink. Let me try that. Do not do that because that person that's doing that, they're putting their lips on that thing that you're drinking from. You can catch COVID. We don't want to have you catching COVID that way. How many people are going to be at this event? That's one of the things I think a lot of us tend to forget about is I'm going to visit this person at their house. Are they having an event where they're going to have 5 people, 15 people, or 20 plus people? You know well that throughout the holidays, this is when everybody likes to gather. With COVID, a lot of people now, they can't go out. Guess what they're going to do? House parties, homes having gatherings. So somebody that normally would be having 4 or 5 people over just to chill and relax, now you might go over the house, they have 20 people there. And it's like, why do you have 20 people here? People are sick and tired. They just want to go somewhere. So there a lot more people now are going to go out. So try to figure out, hey, is this going to be exclusive or is this something that you're opening up to anybody else? If that is, think twice about it. Last but not least, one of the biggest things, is there anybody traveling? Do you have people that's coming back to school, people that are coming back home? Do they have students that's coming from college? Do they have people that work in healthcare? We're in a community where we have a lot of nurses that work within our families, people in the medical field. Where are they coming from? Where are they traveling from? Find that out because guess what? If somebody's coming from a state that has a high positive COVID rate and now you're going over there, you don't know if that person's a carrier. A lot of the times, by the time somebody realizes they're a carrier, it's too late and they've affected most people for at least a week. So keep that in mind if somebody is traveling. And it's not like they're going to say, I'm going to quarantine because by the time you quarantine for 2 weeks, the holidays is done. It's back to regular life in January. It's a new year. So those are some of the ways to do that. And make sure, wash your hands. Make sure you have a lot of alcohol and not alcohol to drink, but alcohol for screen sanitizers, hand sanitizers, to wash your hands. So those are some of the tips that should help you with if you have to go out the holidays. But best bet is stay home, drink by yourself, enjoy the
holidays. No. Well, I'm here to add some extra tips on what you can do to really stay engaged. So if any of you are extroverted like I am, you've been struggling, and you're trying to be compassionate and supported because these are difficult times. But again, it's been hard. And so fun and creative ways to stay engaged. I know we are all zoomed out. Okay. People are like, Zoom can't get me. I need some blue light, sunglasses, eyeglasses. I need those. So if you have any kind of hookups, let me know. All I do is stay behind a computer. But all jokes aside, if you're looking to really stay connected with folks, be creative through Zoom. Zoom is like going to be like your best friend right now during these holiday seasons. But it doesn't just have to be like a face-to-face Zoom conversation. Make it fun for yourselves. And so I'm going to recommend that, if you all want to join together and have movie nights, you can all do that. You can all watch a movie together, get a subscription through some of our local, through some apps like Netflix offers an opportunity for folks to watch movies together. So log in, watch something together, have conversations about it, binge all night, if you will. There are ways where you all can do paint nights together, virtual paint nights. So if somebody's a creative artist out there And I see the comment from Scorpio Spice. I have some of that on my list too. But if you're a local artist and you love to draw, right? Maybe you can lead the paint session for your friends virtually and see what people come up with. You can also book a virtual paint night artist. They Google these things, right? Google is our best friends at this time. We were able to research whatever we wanted in the past. It's not going away this time because of COVID. So Googling access is certainly at your disposal in a way that it probably wasn't before. You can also do like creative drink nights, or like cooking sessions, baking sessions, right? So find ingredients in your house, make it challenging, right? So maybe it's just like make the best dish that you can from the ingredients you have at your house. So without going grocery shopping, have some bake-offs and some cook-offs with your family virtually, and then show off what you have. Now, it's cool because nobody can taste the food, so you can lie and be like, this is amazing. I have no idea. But it's about presentation. Right, you'll never know, but it's about presentation. It's about making it fun. It's about making it cute. So it's just staying engaged. Game nights are also super awesome. Scavenger hunts in the house, right? For those of you who have little kids and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do with them. Have them. They love to FaceTime. They love to use WhatsApp. They love to use Zoom too. So have little kids engage with each other and give riddles, right? Use riddles. Help them be creative. Get our critical thinking skills ready, and think of fun riddles to help people look for certain objects in the house, right? Think about like COVID survival. Think about like, again, just like funny memories, whatever the case may be. I'd also say, so that's for some of the work like outside of Zoom. I think that if you have super creative friends, or if you yourself want to try something, this is the time to do a DIY project, so a do-it-yourself project. So earlier on in COVID, I think a lot of people have transformed their homes or living rooms or whatever the case may be. Like, this could be that time. So if you have a couple of friends who've been like, yo, there's so many things I wanted to do in my house, like start documenting it from Christmas and see what you can do from Christmas to New Year's, right? How far can you get? Set some internal competitions with yourselves. So this is my Christmas gift to myself, is redoing my house or redoing my kitchen or redoing the bathroom. So you have a full week. How much can you get done in that week? Document the stages, document the process, right? And again, have some internal competitions. Post it, maybe have your followers vote on who they think did it best. Again, fun ways to make it happen. If you are in a position where you really want to be with people, this is like, it's a struggle. I would recommend that you all go outside. Not really stay inside of your homes. Go on outdoor walks. Go to local trails. Go to local spaces. Don't drive together. Drive separately. Meet up, right? And do some laps. If that's like walking, jogging, sprinting, whatever the case may be, like do these things together. But again, it's that, and still wear your mask, but it's that opportunity to be outside. It is cold, but pick a warmer day maybe, or just recognize that it's going to be freezing. So you just bundle up. But the point is to get that energy from other people and to be out and about. Lastly, but one more thing I would say is FaceTime. So again, we talked about Zooming and people being zoomed out. FaceTime is another way to really engage, right? Just holding the phone. If you're having phone conversations with folks, maybe it is just seeing their faces that makes all the difference for you, and them being able to see your face. And so even if it's super quick, be like, yo, I just wanted to see your face. I just have this quick question, whatever the case may be. I think that that's super helpful too. Again, it's about that human connectedness and that level of engagement. And then lastly, I would say, take some time to figure out how you can be creative in your own house for yourself during this holiday season. And so just because it's not the ideal time to go out, if you haven't already bought a Christmas tree, get one. Decorate it for yourself. These are the times where we have to like push ourselves to get energized and do what we would normally do. Decorate the inside of your house, even though you can't host that gathering, right? Put some tinsel up. Put up a mistletoe. Kiss your arm. Kiss your puppy if you have one. Kiss your dog, right? Kiss somebody who lives in your house. Nah, I'm not gonna kiss my dog, but but again, but honestly, like, still decorate your house. New Year's is also coming up. I know it's a drag. It's a holiday season. You can't do much, but this is still the time to think about what your New Year's resolutions are going to be. This is the time to think outside of the box, right? And so we might be in COVID for much of January and February, but does that mean that your goals need to stop? No. So think about what those goals are. Think about that action plan. Think about that pivoting table. Think about those pivoting skills and apply them. Because yes, we are persisting through COVID, but that doesn't mean that our time and our lives are lost and have gone in vain. So be creative on Zoom. Be creative with FaceTime. Be creative with the projects, y'all. The projects, the competitions, the bake-offs. For people who love makeup, right? Maybe you all can schedule a session with your friends and y'all just say, get mascara, blush, and foundation and see who can wear it best, right? And so it's what you all naturally do, but doing it with a little bit of creativity and doing it through Zoom. And doing it through different avenues to really stay connected. So again, we are going to continue to persist through this. It is still the holiday spirit. It's still the holiday time. So we still want you all to be in your holiday spirit. A couple of comments, we'll have like theme nights, absolutely, where people can dress up. Shout outs to Burn So Hard. People, listen, those parties were everything. And those gatherings, but we weren't even doing those really in the summer, and I mean in the winter time. And so it's thinking about what you need to do right now. Like maybe it's like making the best mix of hot cocoa or cider concoction. This might be the time to be creative with your alcohol. I don't know, but I don't want to send you out to get like liver failure off of this either. But just have a good time. Like I'm just saying, like still enjoy it. Right. But my last comment on all of this is for those of you who have the opportunity to take vacation time. Some people have been like, I don't need to take it. I work from home anyway. Take it. When we're talking about mental health, when we're talking about our well-being, you still need to unplug. So people think just because they're working from home, some people have had to work a lot harder because they're working from home, and some people feel like they're not as motivated and they're not doing too much. It changes your mental state when you do not have the responsibility of having to clock in or clock out at any point in time. So if you have the time and you have the ability to take time off, do it. Be creative, tap into it, do some dance offs, whatever your passion is. Again, exactly. Go out there and do it. Have dance competitions, video competitions. TikTok went super viral before people's TikTok. Reels are now a thing on Instagram. So I want you all to really tap into your creativity here, folks. It's a struggle, yes, to not be physically with your loved ones, but we got to push through this. We got to make it count. We got to make it happen. So that's really the tips I have for y'all.
One last thing I wanted to touch on is also there's a app that actually kind of got very big because of COVID, House Party. If anybody does not have that app, it's a great app to have, especially if you want to hang out with your friends and family. The reason why that is, it's kind of like FaceTime or Zoom, but you can play games. There's so many different games that you can play within it. So that makes it interactive. You can lock your room down and have, 10, 20, 30 people in a room playing a game. So that's pretty neat. There's a lot of innovations that's happening in these applications, and they've constantly updated it. So that's one way that can help you out. I attended a virtual paint night the other day. If you would have told me I would have done that about a year or two ago, I would have been like, what? I'm not doing this. I'd rather go there. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. 2.5 hours flew by. I didn't even realize it on a Friday night. Normally we would have been out or doing something, going out to eat, visiting friends or whatever. I got to spend the time with my wife, and we were able to do a paint night, something that was pretty fun. Enjoyed it. So these type of things that people are throwing, get yourself out of that comfort zone. A lot of people are like, I'm down. They want to feel miserable and everything like that. Change that. Change your state of mind. If you do things, it will help you forget about, we're still inside. It's the holidays, and it will help you get past that. Few more months, y'all. Hopefully, God willing, few more months. Crossing my fingers, so that we'll be out in the world again and enjoying each other's presence.
That's it. Period. And so on that note, folks, we won't keep you all too much longer, but we just really wanted to take the time to celebrate all of you, to acknowledge all of you, to encourage all of you to support our creative artists out there, to support our local vendors, to support our Black-owned businesses, our small businesses, our restaurants, because again, as a community, as allies, you're all in this with us, right? And so we keep each other going, we keep each other alive, and we keep each other thriving. And so again, in this time of COVID, you're hearing it from the collective first. Like, we want you all to stay safe. We want the collective to continue to be the collective rocking with us, living their best lives, but again, in a safe way for all of us to be able to celebrate and get together again live and in person when the opportunity comes. Traveling is limited right now. If you need to travel somewhere, we recommend driving instead of flying. Any way you can regulate your exposure, But again, be out there, continue to live your best life, stay safe, right? Think about the capacity of people who are going to be around you when you're invited to somebody's house. Think about how much time you're going to be spending at somebody's house. Think about, this is not the time where I'm tasting your food or I'm tasting your drink. These are not the times where we are sharing germs. Okay. So this is the time where we are decreasing our germs. Also, online dating has picked up. All of these apps are like, listen, COVID dates are real. COVID dating germs are also real. So I need you all to think about that. I need you all to think about,
are we doing the first kiss on that first date?
Is it necessary? Probably not, unless you have that proof that you're COVID free.
Papers, like, yo.
I mean, we got to do the HIV and STD papers, but we also got to do the COVID papers. So y'all just added an extra paper. So let's have those real conversations, y'all, because these are those times. There's a lot of COVID babies, and listen, this time has been a blessing for us, but these times can also be complicated for us. Yes. So I'm laughing in all love and all joke, right? Love for real, and in all seriousness, though, this is a time for us to stay protected. This is a time for us to stay thriving. And so, on that note, too, while we've been in a place of very many lows during COVID, we've also been in a place of many highs. And so, for any of you who are listening in and you want to stay connected, the Urban Collective was invited to partake in a Flipping Bricks University series, which is going to take place on December 17th. So the evening of December 17th, you're going to be able to hear from NIC and I as we talk about how we've been able to persist and navigate through COVID, and set ourselves up for economic success, and really talk about what our plans for growth and sustainability has been like to be able to navigate again this time in COVID. And so it's virtual. You can join in by coming onto our Instagram page and clicking on the link in our bio to figure out more of those details. And so again, it's a dope place to just vibe out, listen to other folks who have also been able to positively navigate life through COVID during these unprecedented times. But again, as a collective, we are here, we are navigating it, we are trying to make it all make sense in a world where it doesn't make sense, but in a world where we need to be able to thrive and we need success. So on that, before I close out with a quote, I want to turn it over to NIC. Do you have any final words or thoughts?
Yes, so make sure to follow us online. Thank you to all the listeners, to everybody that's following us. Tell a friend to tell a friend so we can spread the news and let everybody know how great the Urban Collective is. But make sure to follow us online at the Urban Collective Show. You can follow us on Instagram at the Urban Collective Show. You can also follow us on Facebook at the Urban Collective Show. You can follow us also on Twitter, Tuck Show 3 on Twitter for that. And you can go onto our website, purchase our merch, help support us so we can continue to bring you this great show and continue to highlight the city.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, NIC, for all of that. As always, we love to close out our shows with a motivational quote. And so in the spirit of giving and not just receiving, but also being very conscious of our impact in our world, in our communities, I feel like this particular quote speaks volumes to where we're at. And it's a quote by Russell Simmons, which says, if you wake up deciding what you want to give versus what you're going to get, you become a more successful person. In other words, if you want to make money, you have to help someone else make money. All right. And so go out there, support businesses, support Black-owned businesses, support your community, support your creativity, support creators, support your best, you living your best life, but also do it as a collective, do it as a community. And so if you want to give, if you want to receive, it's just as important to give. And we don't just want you to give in order to receive either, y'all. That's not the message here. But it's really thinking about the impact we have as an entire community and all of that good stuff. So again, it's your girl, Bernadine Truth.
It's your man, NIC.
And we'll see y'all in a couple of weeks. And hopefully we definitely see you on December 17th. So take care. Talk to y'all soon.
Yes, it's a free show. Go get those tickets.
Yes. Bye. Bye.